So you can see here this pilot trying to climb the ladder, unfortunately fell off. You can see the waves aren't that big actually, they're only maybe about a metre or so, so they're not as big as they could be. The deckhand, which is a man in orange, is throwing the life raft, but the person is way too far, so even in that 4 to 5 seconds, this person has been washed out to sea. And to give you an idea, even actually in London at this time of year, if you fall into the river, fall into the sea, you've got about 10 minutes before you lose all the feeling in your arm and legs. So that means you can't hold onto a rope, you can't hold onto a life buoy to keep you out of the water. And so it's actually quite difficult to survive. And one of the things that happens a lot is the ship's pilots, they don't die from drowning, they die from heart attacks. So they die from what we call cold water shock. So when people fall into the water, their bodies go into overdrive, you know, because they panic and they get frightened. The water is incredibly cold compared to the air. The water is much denser than air, so it holds a lot more cold, and that affects our body straight away. And so there's lots of instances where people just die of you know, cold water shock. And this actually happened to somebody when we did some of our research about a month before we started. So these are things that we're looking at. You know, this is some of our field research. This is a ship. It's going down the River Thames. It's a very complicated machine. It's got hundreds of thousands of pieces. It doesn't look like it's very dangerous here, but this moves probably like a car in second gear. So maybe it's like 15 kilometers an hour, not very fast, but it's about the size of a street. So it's absolutely huge. And it you know, when you put the brakes on, it takes a long way to stop. Sometimes it takes miles for ships to stop, some of the very big ones, and to turn it takes even longer. So they're very complicated things to handle. And you start to see this, you know, when the ships come up alongside, and that man in orange, if you can see him right in the middle of the picture, he's just about to roll out the pilot's ladder.